All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kodash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of GMS, and to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. This is GMS Precepts, and Nazar Chad here. And real quick, I got this scripture here that I want to go into concerning Israel, right? Concerning Israel being once again referred to as Gentiles or foreigners. You see, and once you understand that concept, a lot of the scriptures will open up to you and start making sense to you. You see, because this whole Gentile thing is what a lot of Christians and people that don't know the scriptures, they want to assume when it's speaking about Gentiles, and when it's speaking about the word or salvation coming to the Gentiles, they're assuming it means the other nations, which by definition, Gentiles, the word Gentile does mean a heathen or a foreigner, right? But they don't understand in certain scriptures the word Gentile was what the word Israelite or the word Gentile was referring to the Israelites, right? And this is one example right here. And once you read it in context, it'll make sense, right? So I'm gonna start at this is St. John 7:32. Um, it says, the Pharisees heard that the people murmured such things concerning him, and the Pharisees and chief priests sent officers to take him. That's speaking of Yahawashi. It says, then said Yahawashi unto them, yet a little while I am with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. So what's he speaking about? When it says, then I go unto him that sent me, he's speaking about going back to the Father, right? He's gonna go back and sit at the right hand of the Father. Okay. See what the Lord did constantly was he constantly spoke over people. He constantly spoke over the Pharisees. He constantly spoke over to the masses, right? Because at that time, Yahawashi, he had a small following, right? There are constant or many examples of the Lord or the Most High only dealing with a few, and Yahawashi is no different. So he constantly spoke over people. So one thing you have to ask yourself is if somebody was for everybody, right? If his mission was to gather as many people as he can to accept the gospel, why would he constantly speak in deep, dark sayings to certain people? Or in this case, the Pharisees? Because the answer is because he didn't want them to understand, right? It tells you in Matthew's the 13th chapter, it says that uh, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven is only given to a few. At that time, he was speaking towards to the apostles, the disciples, right? And those disciples, they represent the elect, right? So the ones that will truly understand his message, truly understand his gospel, truly understand the concept of the Gentiles and the Israelites, are the elect. You see? So continuing on, it says, I'll read 34 again. It says, ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. And it goes on to read, then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? And whither, I'll read it again. It says, whither will he go that we cannot find him? So they're speaking among themselves, and I'm like, what's he talking about? What do you mean he's going to go somewhere we can't find him? And then it reads on, will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach Gentiles? Right? I read that part again. It says, will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach Gentiles? So this right here, it'll start to make sense if you read it in context, right? So it says the dispersed. Now we know the dispersed is referring to the Israelites that were scattered or dispersed among the other nations, right? Going back to the curses. Matter of fact, uh, going back to the curses, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, goes over all the curses. Let's go to that verse. Right, let's go to, it's always spelled it wrong. It's EU. EU. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Let's scroll down. Is it 28 and 56, I believe? No, 50. This verse 63. 60. Here it is, 64. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So that's speaking about how the Most High is going to scatter us among all people. Let's get another one. Leviticus. Let's get another one. Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26 and 33. It says, and I will scatter you among the heathen. You see? And will draw out sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. It says, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. So this is another scripture showing the scattering of Israel, right? So it's known that the Israelites are known as the dispersed. Okay? Why? Because that was part of the curses. They were the ones that were scattered amongst all nations. Okay, what is that? James 1? Is that James 1 and 1? Let me get that real quick. James 1 and 1. Here it is. It says, oh damn, you can't see it. It's cut off a little bit, but it says, James, a servant of the Most High of the Lord Yahawashi, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Right? Alright, so when it's saying, St. John 7 verse 35, it says, will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach Gentiles? When it says the dispersed among the Gentiles, so it means the Israelites that were dispersed among the heathens, okay, and teach Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles, meaning teach the dispersed. All right, and it goes on further to say, what manner of saying is this that he said, ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. So he was just, to say in a layman's terms, Yahawashi was just fucking with him. He was speaking in a allegoric sense where they can't understand him. He spoke over them, right? Yahawashi constantly spoke in riddles, right? Let me go to. I can get another one in Ephesians, the second chapter. Is it? Yeah, it's Ephesians 2 and 11. It says, Ephesians 2 and 11, wherefore remember that ye being in time past, what? Gentiles. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, right? So let's break that down. It says, remember in time past that wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called, and now this is Paul speaking to the Israelites in Ephesus, right, who are called uncircumcision, right, by that which is called the circumcision, right? So it's saying you who are called uncircumcision, which the circumcision that represented the laws, which if you were an Israelite foreigner, you didn't keep those laws, right? Because, you know what? What is that? Romans 1. Romans 1 and 28. It says right here, because this is what happens when an Israelite will even here in America, where you have, you might have a so-called Puerto Rican, a so-called Haitian, a so-called Colombian. If they're here in America, it doesn't take that many generations for them to lose their custom, for them to lose their language. There are plenty of, um, Spanish, Spanish, Puerto Ricans or whatever that I know that don't even speak the language. Right? There's a coworker I know. He's Italian. He's first generation Italian. His parents didn't speak the language with him, and he doesn't speak it at all. So it doesn't take long for you to lose your language. So that's what happened when the Israelites moved out of Israel. They lost their heritage, right? So I read this again. It says Romans 1:28 and 1:28, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them up to a reprobate mind, and to do those things which are not convenient. You see? So this is what happened. They lost their heritage. They lost their customs. And they became as the other nations that they were dispersed among. Right? So going back to Ephesians, it says, who are called uncircumcision. And the Israelites that were in Israel, that kept the laws, that kept the commandments, which were referred to as a circumcision, they were the ones that called the Israelite foreigners the uncircumcised or the uncircumcision. Meaning they called them what? Heathens. Right? Let me get one more. I believe it's 2 Corinthians. Is it 12? 12. No, it might be 1 Corinthians. When it refers to Israel as Gentiles. You see, here it is. Ooh. So, 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. You see? Right? So I think I'll end it there. The point's made. Plenty of examples, and I didn't go over all the scriptures. But there are plenty of examples of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being referred to as Gentiles, right? So if you understand the concept of the Gentiles, of the Israelite foreigners, a lot of these scriptures will open up to you, But in order to understand that, it has to be opened up to you by the Most High. All right. So Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Till the next time, shalawam.